You walk into a casino thinking you're just here for entertainment. Maybe blow a couple $100, have some fun, see what happens. But the moment you sit at a blackjack table, something changes. Surveillance cameras tilt toward you. A pit boss appears behind your seat, pretending to watch the game casually. And the dealer's smile? It tightens. Just slightly. Not because you're cheating. Not because you're causing trouble. Not because you're being rude or obnoxious. But because you're doing something casinos absolutely despise. You're playing smart. See, casinos are designed to take your money. That's not a secret. Everyone knows the house always wins. But what they don't advertise is this. There are specific strategies, behaviors, and tactics that flip the script in your favor. And when you use them, casinos notice. They watch you closer. They change the dealers. They shuffle early. Sometimes they ask you to leave. Today, I'm breaking down 15 things casinos hate when smart players figure out. Some of these are simple. Anyone can use them tonight. Others are advanced techniques that professional advantage players have used to win millions over decades. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what separates casual gamblers from players casinos actually fear. So here's my question for you right now. Have you ever been asked to leave a casino? Have you had a pit boss watching you so closely you felt uncomfortable? Drop it in the comments. I want to hear your stories. Now let's dive in and uncover the 15 strategies that drive casinos absolutely crazy. 1. Understanding house edge and ignoring the fun games. Casinos rely on one simple thing. Players not understanding math. The moment you learn what house edge actually means, you instantly see which games are designed to drain your wallet and which ones give you a fighting chance. Here's what most players don't realize. Every single game in a casino has a built-in mathematical advantage called the house edge. It's how casinos guarantee profit over time. It's not hidden. It's not a secret. It's just math. But casinos hate when you exclusively play games where this edge is smallest. Smart players avoid American roulette with its 5.26% house edge. They skip slot machines that can have anywhere from 5% to 15% edge depending on the machine. And they laugh at Keno, which can carry a house edge up to 35%. That's not a game. That's financial suicide. Instead, they gravitate toward blackjack with good rules, around 0.5% edge. Baccarat's banker bet at 1.06%. Craps pass line or don't pass at 1.36% to 1.41%. The difference is massive. Think about it like this. Would you rather play a game where the casino keeps 15 cents of every dollar you bet, or a game where they only keep half a cent? Casinos hate players who stop playing the flashy stuff, because the flashy stuff is where they print money. Those slot machines with the bright lights and the loud sounds and the bonus rounds? That's their profit center. When you walk past those machines and head straight to the blackjack table, you've already beaten half the casino's psychological warfare. From the casino's perspective, you're a problem. You understand the game isn't just about entertainment. You understand it's about mathematics. And that makes you significantly less profitable. Most recreational gamblers just sit down wherever looks fun. They're drawn to the excitement, the colors, the sounds. But you? You're shopping for the best odds like you're shopping for the best price on a product. And casinos notice this behavior immediately. Quick question for you. What's your go-to game when you want the best possible odds? Blackjack? Baccarat? Craps? Drop it in the comments below. 2. Perfect basic strategy, the silent profit killer. Most players walk up to a blackjack table and play by feel. By gut instinct. By superstition. They hit when they should stand. They stand when they should hit. They make emotionally driven decisions based on feelings rather than mathematics. Smart players follow the exact mathematically correct move for every single hand. And casinos absolutely hate it. Basic strategy in blackjack is a mathematically proven set of decisions for every possible hand combination. It tells you exactly when to hit, stand, double down, split, or surrender based on your cards and the dealer's up card. Following basic strategy perfectly reduces the house edge to approximately 0.5%. One of the lowest edges in the entire casino. Here's why casinos despise this. Most recreational gamblers add several percentage points to the house edge through mistakes. They split tens. They don't double down when they should. They take insurance. They make terrible decisions that significantly increase casino profits. When you walk in with a basic strategy card and follow it religiously, you're playing almost even with the house. You remove almost all of your mistakes. You slash casino profit by 70 to 80%. You eliminate the gut instinct errors casinos depend on. Some players even bring printed strategy charts to the table, which is completely legal in most casinos. The casino cannot stop you from using publicly available mathematical information. But they definitely notice when you do. Perfect basic strategy players combined with favorable rules are barely profitable for the casino. The profit margins are razor thin. Add in any comps or promotions, and the casino might actually lose money on your play. That's exactly why pit bosses watch basic strategy players more closely than tourists making random decisions. You're not doing anything illegal. You're not cheating. You're just making the mathematically correct decision every single time without exception. And there's nothing they can legally do to stop you. Be honest in the comments. Do you use basic strategy or do you play by feel? No judgment here. I want to know. 3. Taking promotions without giving the money back. Every casino offers promotions to get you through the door. Welcome bonuses. Free play credits. Match play coupons. Loyalty rewards. Sign up bonuses that look incredibly generous. But here's what they hate. When you actually use these promotions strategically instead of giving it all back. Most players accept the $50 free play, spin slots for an hour, lose everything, and leave with nothing. That's exactly what the casino expects. That's what the promotion is designed to do. Get you in the door, get you gambling, and drain your wallet. But smart players practice something called bonus hunting or advantage play promotions. They sign up for the promotion, play exactly the minimum required to clear the bonus using the lowest house edge games possible, and then leave with their profits. For example, if a casino offers $50 in free play, a bonus hunter will use it on blackjack with perfect basic strategy or video poker, maximizing their expected value. Then they cash out and walk away. No additional gambling. No giving it back. Just take the promotion and leave. Some advantage players even travel from casino to casino, collecting different sign-up bonuses across multiple properties. Online casinos struggle with this even more. They offer generous bonuses to compete for customers, but professional bonus hunters treat it like a business, making consistent money by cycling through promotions. Casinos call these people bonus hunters, low theoretical players, or non-recyclers. And they hate them. Because they cost the casino real money without generating any profit in return. Casinos have responded with tighter restrictions, higher wagering requirements, game restrictions, and sophisticated tracking systems. If you're identified as a bonus hunter, the good offers dry up fast. You'll stop receiving mailers. Your account gets flagged. You become invisible to their marketing system. But here's the thing. Until they identify you, you can absolutely profit from these promotions. You're not cheating. You're not breaking any rules. You're just being smarter than they expect. Have you ever bonus hunted across multiple casinos? Be honest in the comments. I've done it. No shame in playing the system legally. 4. Staying stone cold sober. Free drinks are one of the most famous perks of casino gambling. Walk around any gaming floor and cocktail waitresses circulate constantly offering complimentary alcohol. Beer, wine, cocktails, whatever you want. All completely free. But there's a calculated reason casinos offer these drinks. And it has absolutely nothing to do with hospitality or being generous. Alcohol impairs judgment. It increases risk-taking behavior. It makes people more impulsive and less strategic. Bad decisions equal casino profit. A drunk player makes bigger bets than they planned. They play longer than they intended. They make more mistakes than they would sober. They chase losses emotionally instead of walking away rationally. They ignore basic strategy and fall for bad bets that sober them would never consider. They don't calculate odds properly. They don't recognize when variance is turning against them. They get swept up in the manufactured excitement of the casino atmosphere. This is exactly why those cocktail waitresses never stop circulating. The casino wants you drinking. The more you drink, the more likely you are to make poor decisions. And poor decisions equal massive casino profits. Sober players are the casino's nightmare. They think clearly. They stick to their predetermined strategy. They maintain discipline throughout their entire session. They don't get emotional. They don't make impulsive bets. They play robotically, following the math, ignoring the excitement. So one of the simplest advantage play techniques is just saying no to alcohol. Stay sharp. Keep your decision-making clear. Save the celebration drinks for after you've cashed out and left the property. Your bankroll will thank you for it. Casinos definitely notice sober, disciplined players. Floor supervisors can spot them from across the pit. These are the players most likely to walk away winners. And casinos know it. Are you the type to drink while gambling, or do you stay completely sober? Let me know in the comments. I'm curious what percentage of viewers play sober. 5. Walking away after hitting a win goal. The number one thought that destroys winning sessions? Just one more hand. That single thought has cost more winning players more money than any other psychological trap in gambling history. The casino's entire business model depends on you staying as long as possible. The longer you play, the more the house edge grinds down your bankroll. Eventually, statistical probability ensures the casino wins. That's mathematics. That's certainty. That's why they absolutely hate players who set strict win goals and actually stick to them. Smart gamblers decide before they even walk through the door. I'll spend $200 maximum or play for 2 hours, whichever comes first. Even better, they set a win goal. If I'm up $100, I'm leaving no matter what. No exceptions. No negotiations. Most importantly, they actually follow through. They don't negotiate with themselves. They don't make exceptions. They don't tell themselves just one more hand or let me try to turn this 100 into 200. When they hit their predetermined limit, they cash out and leave immediately. No hesitation. No looking back. Casinos design everything to prevent this behavior. There are no clocks on the walls so you lose track of time. There are no windows so you can't tell if it's day or night. Free drinks lower your inhibitions and decision-making ability. Comfortable chairs keep you seated longer. The exit is always positioned far from the gaming floor, making leaving feel like an actual journey. They pump oxygen into the air to keep you alert and playing. They use specific carpet patterns that encourage you to keep moving through the casino instead of leaving. Everything is psychologically engineered to make it hard to leave, especially when you're winning. Because winners staying is how casinos recover their losses. Disciplined players who can walk away at predetermined points are the casino's worst enemy. They're the ones most likely to leave with casino money in their pockets. They understand that a win today is better than the possibility of a bigger win that never materializes. The casino has no defense against a player who knows when to walk away. They can't force you to stay. They can't make you keep playing. All they can do is make leaving psychologically difficult. But if you set your limit before you start, you've already won that battle. Be honest. How often do you actually stick to your limits versus telling yourself just a little longer? Drop your answer in the comments. 6. Playing very slowly, especially at blackjack. Casinos make money through volume. The more hands dealt per hour and the higher the bets, the more profit they generate. Time is money in the casino business. This is exactly why they hate slow players who consistently bet table minimums. Think about the mathematics here. If the house edge is 1% and you're betting $10 per hand, the casino expects to earn 10 cents per hand on average. If 60 hands are dealt per hour at your table, that's $6 in expected profit per hour from your play. But if you play slowly, take time to think about every decision, chat with other players, ask the dealer questions, check your basic strategy card, and generally drag out each hand, maybe only 30 hands get dealt per hour. Now the casino's expected profit from you is cut in half to just $3 per hour. You've reduced their profit by 50% without changing anything about your betting or strategy. You've just slowed down. Casinos want fast action. They want cards flying, wheels spinning, dice rolling as quickly as possible. High velocity and high volume is where maximum profits come from. A slow, methodical player is one of the quietest weapons against the house. You're still playing. You're still giving them the house edge. But you're minimizing the number of times they can apply that edge. Some casinos have even implemented policies against excessively slow play. They might ask you to speed up. They might even ask you to leave if you're deliberately slowing down the game. Because slow players waste the casino's most valuable resource, time. Dealers are even trained to encourage faster play. They deal quickly. They create a rhythm. They want you caught up in the flow of the game, making quick decisions without thinking. But you? You take your time. You're not in a hurry. You're here to play smart, not fast. And there's absolutely nothing illegal about playing slowly. You're just being deliberate. You're being careful. You're making sure every decision is correct. Casinos hate it. But they can't stop you. 7. Playing at empty tables. Most casino games deal more hands per hour when tables are full. More players means more action, which paradoxically speeds up the game because there's constant movement and momentum. Smart players in games like blackjack actually prefer playing heads up against the dealer or at tables with just one or two other players. This slows down the number of hands dealt per hour, which reduces the total amount of money put at risk, which reduces expected losses. You're still playing the same strategy. You're still making the same bets. But you're seeing fewer hands per hour. For card counters, heads-up play is even more valuable. They can spread their bets more aggressively without attracting attention. They can see a higher percentage of the shoe before the shuffle. They can play more hands during favorable counts and fewer during unfavorable counts. But even if you're not counting, playing alone or with one other player gives you control. You control the pace. You can take your time with decisions. You can think clearly without the pressure of other players waiting. Casinos hate this because it reduces their hands per hour volume. They actually want full tables because it means more total money being wagered across all players combined and more profit being generated simultaneously. Some casinos even have policies against playing alone at tables during busy periods. They'll close empty tables or force solo players to move to busier tables to consolidate action. They want maximum volume at every table. When you find an empty table and sit down, you've already gained an advantage. You're dictating terms. You're controlling the environment. And that's something casinos really don't like. 8. Not using a player's card. Every casino aggressively pushes their player's club card. They offer points, comps, free play credits, and other rewards in exchange for tracking your gambling activity. On the surface, it seems like free benefits with no downside. Sign up today and get $25 free play. Earn points on every bet. Free rooms, free meals, exclusive offers. But there's a strategic reason some advantage players deliberately avoid using them. And casinos absolutely hate it. Players' cards track everything about your gambling behavior. How much you bet per hand. How long you play each session. Your win-loss record over time. Your game selection and preferences. What time of day you visit. How you respond to promotions. The casino builds a detailed profile of your gambling behavior and stores it in sophisticated databases. This information gets used against you. If you're a consistent winning player, you'll receive fewer comps than losing players. Your promotional offers will dry up. Your mailers will stop coming. You might even get flagged for additional scrutiny from surveillance or pit bosses. Card counters and advantage players who use players' cards make it easy for the casino to identify patterns, track their wins, and eventually ban them from multiple properties. Playing anonymously makes you much harder to profile and track. You're just another face in the crowd. The casino can't build a comprehensive database on your play. They can't track your lifetime wins and losses across multiple sessions. They can't identify you as an advantage player who should be watched. You sacrifice the free room offers and buffet comps. But you gain something far more valuable: invisibility. For recreational players, cards are probably worth using because the comps provide real value and you're not doing anything that would get you flagged anyway. But for anyone playing with a mathematical edge or using any form of advantage play, staying off the casino's radar has significant strategic value. Casinos hate anonymous players because their entire loyalty program and surveillance system depends on identifying and tracking individual players. When you refuse the card, you're opting out of their entire data collection ecosystem. And they really, really don't like that. Do you always use your player's card or do you sometimes skip it? Let me know in the comments. 9. Reading dealer and pit boss behavior. Pit bosses, dealers, and floor supervisors give off tells just like players do. They're human. They have patterns. They have procedures. And experienced advantage players learn to read casino personnel to gauge how much heat they're receiving. A skilled player watches everything: dealer hand movements, pit boss attention patterns, surveillance camera angles, early shuffle signals, heat indicators. If the pit boss is standing directly behind you watching every hand instead of circulating the pit, you're probably being evaluated for card counting or advantage play. If they make a phone call while staring at you, they're likely calling surveillance upstairs to review your play on camera. If they ask the dealer to shuffle early in the middle of a shoe, they suspect advantage play and they're trying to eliminate your edge. If they suddenly offer you a free dinner or comp your room unprompted when you're winning, they might be trying to move you away from the tables or make you feel valued so you keep playing until you lose it back. Smart players recognize these signals and adjust accordingly. They might leave before being asked. They might reduce their bet spread to look less suspicious. They might take a bathroom break to let heat cool off. They might switch games or move to a different pit. Casinos hate when players can read their security procedures because it makes those procedures less effective. It creates a cat and mouse game where advantage players stay one step ahead of detection. Most recreational players are completely oblivious to casino security measures. They don't notice the pit boss watching. They don't see the camera's repositioning. They don't recognize the tells. But you? You're paying attention to everything. Not just the cards. Not just the game. But the entire environment around you. And that awareness gives you power. 10. Using comps while giving casinos zero additional profit. Casinos offer comps based on your theoretical loss, not your actual loss. This is a critical distinction that smart players exploit ruthlessly. If you play blackjack for 4 hours at $50 per hand, the casino calculates your theoretical loss based on the house edge, your average bet size, and your time played. You might earn $100 in comp value even if you walk away a winner. The casino isn't comping your actual losses. They're comping what they expect to make from you based on the mathematics of the game you're playing. Smart players maximize their comp earnings while minimizing actual losses. Here's how. They bet bigger when the pit boss is watching to establish their average bet. Then they bet smaller when the pit boss walks away or is distracted. This inflates their rated average bet without actually risking more money per hour. They take long bathroom breaks or meal breaks while still seated at the table, which inflates their playing time in the system even though they're not actually gambling. They play during slow periods when they're more likely to get rated generously by pit bosses trying to show player activity during their shift. Then they use every single comp point before those points expire. Free meals. Free rooms. Free show tickets. Free spa treatments. They extract maximum value from the casino's rewards program without giving net value back at the tables. Casinos hate this because the comp system is designed to keep you gambling longer, not to provide actual value. They want you to earn a free buffet and then lose $200 more trying to win additional comps or feeling obligated to gamble more because they gave you something. When you use comps strategically and walk away, you're beating the system. You're taking real value from the casino while giving them less theoretical loss than they think they're getting. It's a small edge. But over time, it adds up significantly. 11. Understanding variance better than the casino wants. Most gamblers tilt emotionally during losing streaks. They panic. They chase. They increase their bets trying to win back losses quickly. They abandon strategy. They make terrible decisions driven by frustration and desperation. Smart players know variance is normal. Downswings happen. Losing streaks are mathematically inevitable. Short-term results are essentially random. Long-term expected value is what matters. When you don't panic, you don't chase. When you don't chase, you don't lose everything. Understanding variance at a deep level means you can withstand losing sessions without breaking discipline. You know that losing 6 hands in a row doesn't mean the deck is cold or the dealer is lucky or you're cursed. It just means randomness is producing a short-term negative result. You also know that winning 6 hands in a row doesn't mean you're on a hot streak or the universe is rewarding you. It's just variance producing a short-term positive result. This understanding keeps you emotionally stable. You don't get overly confident when winning. You don't get despondent when losing. You just keep playing your optimal strategy and let mathematics work itself out over sufficient sample size. Casinos absolutely hate calm, unemotional gamblers who understand probability deeply. Because emotional players make mistakes. Emotional players chase. Emotional players go on tilt and donate massive amounts of money trying to force variance to turn around. But you? You're a robot. You're playing the math. You're ignoring the emotional roller coaster that destroys most gamblers. And that makes you incredibly difficult to break. 12. Bankroll management that prevents disaster. A disciplined gambler divides their total bankroll into sessions, units, and tactical risk levels. They never risk more than a small percentage on any single session. They have proper cash reserves. They set loss limits that prevent them from going broke during inevitable downswings. Professional gamblers treat their bankroll like a business asset. It's not fun money. It's working capital that must be protected and managed intelligently. If they have $5,000 dedicated to gambling, they might only risk $100 to $250 per session. This ensures that even a terrible night doesn't end their ability to keep playing. This discipline means they're always around to capitalize when variance swings in their favor. Most recreational gamblers bring their entire bankroll to the table and risk it all in one session. One bad run and they're completely done. They can't play anymore until they save up money again. They've been knocked out of the game entirely. Smart players divide their bankroll into 20, 30, or even 50 session bankrolls. They can withstand multiple losing sessions without risking their entire gambling capital. Casinos hate disciplined bankroll management because it means players can withstand variance and keep playing optimally even during losing streaks. They never face the gambler's desperation of trying to win back losses quickly with bigger and bigger bets. From the casino's perspective, these players are difficult to break. They don't tilt. They don't chase. They don't make desperate bets. They don't spiral into emotional decision-making. They just keep grinding with proper strategy, session after session, waiting for variance to even out. And eventually, if they're playing games with tiny house edges or using advantage techniques, they're going to walk away winners over the long term. Casinos can't break players who manage money properly. They can only hope those players eventually break their own discipline. 13. Knowing which blackjack rules are worth playing. Not all blackjack tables are created equal. Rules vary significantly from casino to casino and even table to table within the same casino. And those variations dramatically impact the house edge. Smart players know exactly which rules to look for. And they aren't afraid to ask for them. They only sit down at tables with 3-2 blackjack payouts, never 6-5. That rule change alone adds over 1% to the house edge. It's one of the most profitable rule changes casinos ever implemented. They look for tables that allow doubling down on any 2 cards, not just hard totals of 9, 10, or 11. They want the ability to double after splitting pairs. They want the option to surrender bad hands against dealer strong cards. They want dealers who stand on soft 17 instead of hitting it. They want deep shoe penetration where the dealer places the cut card far back in the shoe, dealing more cards before shuffling. Knowledgeable players walk up to a table, check the rules posted on the felt or the table limit sign, and if the rules aren't favorable, they ask the pit boss if better rules are available elsewhere in the casino. Do you have any 3-to-2 blackjack tables? Do you have any games where I can double after split? What are your best blackjack rules in the casino? Casinos hate when players do this because it shows they understand the mathematics. It shows they're not just recreational gamblers who will play anywhere. It shows they're educated about house edge and seeking the best possible conditions. Most casual players don't even know the difference between 3-to-2 and 6-to-5 blackjack. They just sit down and play. But advantage players shop for rules like they're shopping for the best price on a product they're about to purchase. And casinos notice this behavior immediately. When a player walks the pit checking table rules before sitting down, that player goes on the radar instantly. 14. Exploiting dealer mistakes legally. Dealers are human. They make mistakes. Sometimes they pay bets incorrectly, giving you money you didn't win. Sometimes they forget to collect losing bets. Sometimes they miscalculate payouts in your favor. Sometimes they accidentally expose cards they shouldn't. Here's what casinos hate. You don't have a legal obligation to point out dealer mistakes that benefit you. If the dealer accidentally pays your losing bet, that money is legally yours once you touch those chips. If the next hand begins, the casino can't take it back. The transaction is complete. Now there's a moral question here, and different players have different philosophies. Some players point out mistakes because they feel it's the right thing to do. Others stay silent because they view it as the casino's responsibility to train dealers properly. But from a purely legal standpoint, dealer errors that benefit you become your money once you've taken possession. The casino can't reach across the table and take chips back after the fact. Casinos hate this because dealer mistakes cost them significant money annually. They try to minimize errors through training and supervision, but in a fast-paced environment with thousands of transactions happening simultaneously across hundreds of tables, mistakes happen. Advantage players pay close attention. They watch every payout carefully. They know exactly what they should receive for every bet they make. And when the dealer makes an error in their favor, they silently accept it and move on. This isn't cheating. This isn't collusion. This is simply being observant and understanding your legal rights. Have you ever caught a dealer mistake in your favor? What did you do? Did you point it out or stay silent? Comment below. I'm genuinely curious what most people do in that situation. 15. Sharing information with other players. The casino industry shares information about advantage players across properties. They have databases. They communicate through industry organizations. They warn each other about card counters, hole carders, and professional players. But players can share information too. And casinos absolutely hate it. Online forums, social media groups, Discord servers, and player networks share detailed information about which casinos offer the best rules, which properties are backed off card counters aggressively, which promotional offers provide positive expected value, which dealers have sloppy technique, and which surveillance teams are particularly aggressive. Players share intel about which casinos have weak shuffle procedures. Which properties offer exploitable promotions. Which locations have poorly trained dealers. Which times of day are best for advantage play because supervision is lighter. This collective intelligence helps advantage players stay ahead. They can avoid burned locations where they're likely to be recognized. They can capitalize on promotional opportunities before casinos adjust the terms. They can learn from others' experiences without making expensive mistakes themselves. Casinos would prefer every player to operate in isolation, making the same mistakes repeatedly and never learning from others' successes. When players organize and share information, it dramatically reduces the casino's informational advantage. Knowledge is power. And collective knowledge is a weapon. Casinos work together to identify and ban advantage players. So when players work together to identify and exploit casino vulnerabilities, it creates a balance of power that didn't exist before. This is exactly what the famous MIT blackjack team did on a massive scale. They shared information, coordinated strategies, and collectively made millions before casinos caught on and started banning them. Today, that same principle applies in online communities where thousands of players share information freely. The casino advantage shrinks when players stop operating alone. Closing the power twist 37:00-39:00. So there you have it. 15 specific behaviors that drive casinos crazy when smart players figure them out. Some are simple: staying sober, setting limits, walking away when you hit your win goal. Anyone can do these tonight. Others are more advanced. Understanding variance, reading dealer and pit boss behavior, exploiting optimal rules and promotions strategically. These take study and discipline. But they all share one thing in common. They shift the balance of power away from the casino and toward the informed player. Here's the truth that casinos don't want you to understand. They don't fear cheaters. Cheaters get caught. Cheaters get arrested. Cheaters are easy. They leave evidence. They use devices. They break laws. But smart, disciplined, educated players? Players who understand math, psychology, probability, and casino operations at a deep level? Those are the players casinos secretly despise. Because there's nothing they can legally do to stop them. You're not breaking any rules. You're not cheating. You're not using devices. You're just being smarter than 95% of people who walk through those doors. And that's perfectly legal. Completely legitimate. Totally unstoppable. Gambling doesn't have to be a losing proposition if you educate yourself, play disciplined, use the right strategies, and understand what you're actually doing. The house will always have an edge in most games. That's mathematical reality. But you can minimize that edge to almost nothing. You can play games that are nearly 50-50. And with proper strategy, bankroll management, and discipline, you can actually walk away a winner over time. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these 15 tactics are you going to use next time you walk into a casino? Which ones surprised you? Which ones were you already doing? Drop your answers in the comments below. I read every single one. If this video opened your eyes to how casinos really operate and what separates smart players from everyone else, hit that like button right now. If you want more insider casino strategy content that the industry wishes you would never learn, subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. And share this with someone who needs to stop gambling blind. The more people who play smart, the better chance we all have. Remember, the casino isn't your enemy. It's a business trying to make profit. But you don't have to be their easiest customer. Play smart. Play disciplined. Stay dangerous. I'll see you at the tables.